Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on UppTalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say UppTalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you're new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
Business processes. All right. This is going to be the agenda that we are going to be seeing for the next 2 or 3 sessions at least. And this is very, very important. Please pay attention, close attention to this because this is what is going to be the heart of any kind of an implementation. What we have seen far is only the basics. We've seen supports, we've seen different types of organizations, cost centers, everything. And then we saw about how the compensation structure is going to look like. The next logical topic that we are going to be seeing is called as business process. Just want to understand probably those who had worked on an HCM or those who have worked on HCM. What do you mean by a business process or an event? What do you mean by that in any terms? And if you can give it with an example, well and good. A business process is going to be a chain of actions or events that are going to happen to complete a task. In a nutshell, that's what it is. Say I have a hire. Say it doesn't mean that directly I can hire anybody and everybody, right? If I'm going to hire, say XYZ, say I'm going to hire Aryan in an organization like Google or Facebook. What are the list of events that I need to go through? I'm taking, I'm talking about post interview stage and post offer stage because there could be many things. I know Aryan has been selected for an organization like Facebook. What are the other events that needs to happen? I can probably post your offer and probably on day 1 or probably a little beyond day 1. First up after I get my offer, I need to accept it. Once it is being accepted, the employee ID needs to be generated. There will be a set of documentations which I need to do if there is any kind of an expert or a visa requirements that needs to be done. And then on day 1, I need to complete my onboarding. Post my onboarding, I need to have some kind of an introductory sections with my teams, my managers, plus certain organizations may have what is called as post 90 days, post 60 days, 90 days or 240 days. Something like a probation completion event, all those stuff. This entire thing, which starts probably from day 1 or post my offer acceptance, where the employee is going to be created, all of that is called as a business process, or in this particular case, it's called as a hire business process. It's called as a hire business process. Clear on this? This could be applied for anything of that sort. For example, you apply for a leave. For example, if Gitika is going to apply for a leave and if Krishna Bini is the manager, what happens? Gitika will first apply for, say, 2 days of casual leave, say on the Monday, on the Tuesday. And once Gitika is going to apply, it's going to go across to her manager, which is Krishna Bini, for approval. And only if Krishna Bini is going to approve it, it is going to be sent across as a notification, say, to Nishant, who is going to be in HR. HR is going to be notified that Geetika is going on off for 2 days and the manager has approved. Krishna Bini is the manager, she is approved. This is a simple logic. A notification, like what I said in the first class, is just a mail notification which could possibly go by. Alright, all of this constitutes a manager. And what if the manager is going to reject it? It's going to go back to Gitika with some comments from the manager saying that your manager, Krishna Baini, has rejected or pushed back the leave. And please make some corrections as per the comments which have been passed by. That's it. Maybe due to project reasons or otherwise, it could have been rejected. That's all. And it's a very, very simple flow. And what I said is very simple. But in the real world, every organization would have a different flavor of their own process for every event. Hire could be different. Your termination could be different. Leave application could be different. Change job could be different. Everything is going to have a different flavor. Alright, now this is a whatever business process is available over here. I'm just picking up a small business process which is already available. Is my screen visible or you want me to zoom it further? Is it visible for everybody or you want me to zoom it further? I can do it. Is this or you want me to zoom it further? Alright, let me zoom it one more level. Is it not? If you see over here, we will get to the pseudo part later. This is just a flow chart of how it is going to be. First up, I'm just picking a random higher definition. What I'm seeing over here is a higher simplified business process. Don't ask me now for what exactly that simplified is. I will tell all that a little later. First up, this is going to be initiated by an Acrobat HR manager. It just says the name of the person who is going to initiate it. Then there is a compensation hire. Propose compensation hire, which is going to be done by a compensation partner. What this action could possibly mean is the compensation. Relevant details are going to be entered from the offer to my system level. That is going to be done by my compensation partner. Next, your Workday account needs to be created, which means you can assume it similar to what your employee ID creation is going to be like. Your employee ID needs to be created. Your Workday account needs to be created. All of that needs to be done. And this is going to be done by your organization, security admin. Alright, first up, that is going to be like, and there is going to be a criteria over here which says if the applicant has a Workday account. Don't go into this particular Workday owned or something. That is something which we will see later. If the applicant has a Workday account, there is no necessity for you to create it. Probably that particular person could have been a rehire. If he is a rehire, then there is no necessity for us to create a Workday account or an employee ID to be created. Alright, only if the person does not have a Workday account. It needs to be created. Alright, the next thing is what needs to be done next over here is payroll administration. Payroll administrator. Administrator is going to be assigning a pay group for the employee, saying that this particular person is going to be paid month, annual, weekly, whatever is going to be there. We are going to have a payroll ID created as well. Payroll ID is something which is going to be sent across to your payroll vendor. If you have a payroll vendor, you are going to be assigned to that. It is going to be going across to your onboarding setup. First up, onboarding setup is something like you are going to be having a conversation with your manager. The manager. You are going to be having a manager assigned and you are going to have SPOC assigned for the HR team to complete all your day one related formalities and everything. Once this particular onboarding setup is completed, in workplace terminologies, we call onboarding setup as something like who is going to be your manager, who is going to be your SPOs from HR and everybody. That is what is going to be assigned and set up over here as a part of onboarding setup. Next, on date, you are going to have your onboarding completed onboarding is going to be completed, where you are going to submit all your documents, your related benefits, related stuff, your dependent information. All that is going to be part of your day one onboarding process. You are going to have a benefits event change, which is typically based on whatever dependent information and other stuff are going to be collected in your onboarding. You are going to have some benefits related done over here, which means you are going to be enrolled for your medical, dental, vision, and other plans, which are there at an organization level. Clear on this? This is just a simple one, but in actual practice, it could be very, very different based on what your client requirement is. This is just a very simple flow. I am just explaining for you to understand what a business process could look like. Clear on this? Any questions here? Alright, this is just a process flow that I have shown. Now let us get into the real world as to this could look like in the business process. Let us go to that business process here. Alright, ignore this error. There are some errors in this particular business process which somebody has created. There is an error over here. This typically a business process. This is the way that we configure. This is called as a business process configuration. This is typically this would look like. Alright, this is typically how the configuration will also look like. It's not something totally different, very, very simple for you to understand. As don't get, probably, I would say it is very, very easy. Don't feel overwhelmed with it because it's very simple, plain stuff. There's not something problem. Once you get into the implementation of something, you'll see it a lot different business processes, which are going to be probably, 2 or 3 complex than this. All right, like I said, it's a tabular form here. This is where you're going to configure everything. That is just for you to understand. If you want to explain it to the business, because the business understands the diagrammatic form, but that is what Workday has provided that. And if you want to access, you just have to go to definition, relate, access, just like what you see in an org chart. You just have to click over here, view diagram, and that view diagram will take you to that particular chart. Because when we to the business, we go that particular chart because the business may not really understand this tabular format and everything, right? Because this is more for us with all the nuances around it, the due date, delay, and everything as well, right? Because the business, I does not understand this from my experience. Let me tell you, because for them, the chart looks better because that is how they are maintaining their legacy system as well. Because they may maintain their legacy system in a pen and paper, admin related stuff, or on other systems like Talio and other systems as well. There, it could be more diagrammatically represent in chart and everywhere. But this could be different. That's why we go for that. Let me just explain this particular business process or the flow and everything. And I will go into creation of an actual business process. First up, you see steps over here and you see a magnifying glass right next to it. If I click on the magnifying glass, it will go across the values, more detailed version of each and every step, the specific. For this particular step, it says workflow step. And if I want to have some detailed stuff over here, it goes across to the detail new. We will get into the deep dives a little later. For now, just remember that if I click on that magnifying glass, for that particular, what is going to be the detailed action and other details, that is what this is going to come in, the notification and everything. We will deal with it on Monday. Not, I don't want you to get it there. Or order is going to be the order in which this particular business process is going to be executed. It can be al new new as currently. We maintain a standard which is going to be you have more than in your business process. You maintain it. However, you want to maintain it, you can maintain it that way. Like I said, this order can be al no no matter the configurator to have it complete your domain. You can have it the way to have it clear on this. In my business process, should particular trigger test column exam word account who should work account create add act edit work and word art was work account. Otherwise, who typically create word account particular criteria applicant doesn't because create applicant applicant person who right or it assistant already available that account probably act because co- ra- co- somebody a particular person go include credentials termination happening particular was work at employee activate did subsequent session pay group something person n- when monthly by frequency assigned particular person, pay group, otherwise, can pay group criteria to const remember assignments as pay group number certain criteria work exam should vertic where soft work work or criteria whenever a particular action word certain check balance default criteria with automatically specific acts specific if we have process work delivered with automatically whenever mentioning particular automatically add cannot uh, because these automatically their possibility rule particular uh, work check balance single with cert action specific cert right delivered work that's work of particular which delivered which automatically mentioned act work account otherwise uh, action called assign because delivered without assignment each writing column questions right they at work at perform the particular at cook cert or call or business processes cook uh, integration um, payroll assignment pro particular did estimate payroll when exam cook posit integration cook integration uh, something business process triggered right column called specific which nothing act uh, but act integration something act right for compensation high something like over a particular process specific propose compensation high with remuneration with override particular that's nothing with water propose compensation high of specific in notification particular person propose compensation high instead remuneration that's the optional whether particular optional manned completed and particular optional optional mandatory cannot skip sample particular with code assignment group cross payroll but and particular mandatory as payroll option with manned particular payroll and can particular can skip mandatory payroll assignment payroll option cannot group group not performing particular example num something propose part word count go secure assignment payroll girl as payroll with exam payroll 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 partner particular, assigning, payroll, it, the, the, ex, payroll, particular, organization, get that, payroll, particular, organization, payroll, partner, it, partner, either, necessary, either, particular, necessary, manage, partner, supervisor, either, complete, particular, necessary, it, either, man, partner, supervisor, question, responsibility, benefit, partner, to, particular, questions, these, field, questions, right, think, cold, who, information, reporting, purpose, particular, make, propose, compensation, high, should, completed, compensation, partner, within, organization, mandate, word, man, process, standpoint, particular, completed, within, it, which, happen, default, however, force, pause, course, information, river, pause, complete, definition, raw, edit, particular, definition, relate, action, or, affected, to, take, hit it, for more, affected, whatever effect it currently automatically system workflow definition import thing main detailed change the particular definition created September created change go approval manage something we maintain lead no instruction here column information use change it to oh, dear because refer mem end the something debug it again particular affected affected particular business process and it autocomplete search action would go automatically completed particular step change change it right particular 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 this doesn't create click call no go number act act now propose compensation what account this delivered word is approval uh, approve ex approval particular, definition, area, add, right, let it, approval, approval, and approve, particular, with, approval, first, need, true, example, good, particular, approve, manage, that's moment, because particular, co, repeated, because root, column, change, removing, particular, with simplification, all right, or relate, action, particular, means, process, business, or definition, particular, definition, particular, available, particular, supervisory, organization, provo, like, to something, bit, and work, follow, click, question, this, because cannot, boarding, right? Otherwise, search, creating something, work, account, creating, cannot, boarding, right? Possible, exact, putting, because, it, word, count, no, initial, bro, approval, managing, cross, edit, working, account, with, uh, Everybody, remember, particular, go, cross, supervisor, organization, exam, supervise, organization, because somebody, supervisory, organization, share, uh, manage, manage, pick, secured, don't, secure, add, assign, because assign, multi, paid, compensation, part, payroll, and because goal, assign, different, secured, compensation, partner, payroll, add, less, compensation, partner, managing, right, compensation, part, assign, buck, particular, did, rela, yeah, particular, propose, technology, consulting, supervisory, organization, a compensation, partner, back, nat, because assign, supervise, organization, particular, quit, propose, compensation, hide, triggered, mm, act, pro, because assigned, ed, id, inherited, concept, assignment, cons, which, through, together, whatever discussed, because today, going, activity, because covered, introduction, month, revisiting, de, created, definition, or cell, through, base, definition, everything, true, brief, business, process, higher, technology, consulted, actually, done, because multiple, multiple, definition, created, Actually, particular, high definition, applicable, technology, consulted, supervisory, not eligibility, date, right. Similarly, something called whose pros, something called this pros configuration, particular, multiple, written, yeah, business, pros, workflow, definition, would, or that treated similar, eligibility, concept, discussed, similar, which, similar, location, which, hap, location, with, these, location, probably, love, hired, or linked, location, high, definition, which, could, preferred, cold, locate, that's because cons, particular, with, that's said, actually, process, understand, to, the, share, particular, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales at therightuptalk.com.